Well, that is a very good way to kick off this very long road trip for the Philadelphia Phillies, specifically a West Coast road trip, as the Phillies are going to be playing the Seattle Mariners and the Los Angeles Dodgers this entire week. So we're going to be seeing a lot of Phillies after dark this week. And they got off to a good start, dominating the Seattle Mariners, and they win by a score of 9-0. Basically, the offense just chipping every way through tonight. Ranger Suarez was very solid. Get back-to-back home runs from Gene Segura and Rhys Hoskins. Nick Castellanos with 3 hits and a couple of RBIs on the board. Gene Segura getting 3 RBIs as well. So basically, the offense was just clicking in all cylinders. Ranger Suarez was very, very solid. And you get yourself a nice win. That's basically all that matters at this point. It's a good way to kick off the road trip. Maybe, just get on the road, get away from Citizens Bank Park, get away from the New York Mets for the time being, and just go on and, be confident. Just be confident entirely. And that is the most important thing right here. A very solid win by this Phillies team. And before we get into the rest of it, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to TTP Sports. And the most important thing you can do is hit that subscribe button. I will greatly appreciate that. If you are looking for all the latest Philadelphia sports news, recaps, and events, this is the place to be at, depending on the outcome, great or miserable, depending on the outcome. And if you're a current viewer of the channel, I am grateful for you being here that long and looking to continue that down the road. And if you're looking for tickets to upcoming sporting events, concerts, whatever you can think of, use the code TTP Sports down below for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. So get yourself to an upcoming Phillies home game within the next few weeks. Get yourself some Game 6 tickets for the Sixers at the Wells Fargo Center. Make that place as electric as possible. It's a deal you can't pass up on. I greatly, recommend it. Use that for parking. Use that for concessions. Anything you can think of. So use the code TTP Sports down below for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek today. So the Phillies, in the first game of this 3-game series with the Seattle Mariners, they beat them by a score of 9-0. And I want to start with Ranger Suarez first, because overall, I thought he was pretty solid. He got into a little situations where he allowed the leadoff runners to get on, the first 2 guys specifically, a couple of times, but he managed to get out of those situations. The command had some issues in certain innings, but overall, still, it was a very solid start and a very good start to, build off of for Ranger Suarez, if you know what I mean. That's basically what Ranger Suarez needed. He struggled in his, wasn't the best start in his last outing against the Texas Rangers. So this is definitely something that he needed right here to just build off of and look forward and try, get better as the season progresses. Because right now we still don't know what Ranger Suarez is going to be. We know he's not going to replicate what he did last year with the sub-2 ERA. That's just, unsustainable at that point. That was just where everything went right for him, and he was just dealing. Like I said, during the preseason, basically during spring training, if Ranger Suarez can be that guy and, a third, fourth rotation, type of guy, and can give you a mid-3 ERA to maybe almost a low 4, then that is probably the best thing possible for Ranger Suarez. But if he continues to find a way to build off this and just be solid the rest of the way, that's definitely more than you can ask for out of Ranger. He went 6 innings in this ball game, allowed 4 hits, walked 2 batters, and struck out 7 on 104 pitches, and his ERA drops to 3.68. So overall, very, very, very solid out of Ranger Suarez. So going into the rest of this ball game, I'm going to try to keep these recaps a little shorter, specifically since they're on the West Coast, and it's almost 1 in the morning. So yeah, I'm going to try to keep them a little shorter, but still, I want to get over this game and get into a little bit of detail as possible. Have a little fun right here. So nothing really going in the first inning for the Phillies and stuff, but Ranger Suarez still solid in his first part of the outing in the bottom of the first. Then we go to the top of the second. Gene Segura crushes a ball to left center field, goes over the wall, makes it a 1-0 Phillies lead. And then Rhys Hoskins, the very next batter, golfs one right near the foul pole, goes out, becomes a 2-0 Phillies lead. Back-to-back home runs, becomes a 2-0 Phillies lead. From there, we go to the top of the third inning. Nick Castellanos gets a 2-out double. Honestly, I thought this ball was going to go out with the way he crushed it. It just died right at the warning track. So honestly, that could possibly tell you that the balls are dead a little bit, because someone said on Twitter that the exit velocity on the ball hit by Nick Castellanos was just like 1 mile less, than how hard Gene Segura hit his home run. So that basically shows you right there. But still, anyway, it's a 2-out double, and then JT Realmuto works the count and gets an RBI single to score Nick there to make it a 3-0 Phillies lead in the top of the third inning. Then we go to the top of the fifth. Phillies break it out even more. Alec Boehm gets a single to right field. Then Bryce Harper, right after that, gets another single of his own, moves Boehm over to third base. Nick Castellanos gets a double, scores Alec Boehm, moves Harper over to third. So you get a second and third situation for JT, and he floats one to left field, scores Bryce Harper, makes it a 5-0 ball game there. And then Gene Segura grounds into a fielder's choice, hustles down the first base to avoid the double play to make it a 6-0 game, which scores Castellanos. So the Phillies lead 6-0 after the top of the fifth inning. We go to the top of the seventh now because the Phillies bring it up even more. Bryce Harper gets a single, then he steals second base during Castellanos at bat. Then Nick Castellanos hits an RBI single, makes it 7-0. Castellanos was able to get the second base on a pass ball during the Gene Segura at bat. What does Gene Segura do? RBI single. It's basically what it is. Good base running, taking advantage of other stuff. Makes it an 8-0 ball game. And then Rhys Hoskins gets a single down the line. Well, actually, during the Nick Castellanos at bat, when he was scoring, Gene Segura went to second base, and then Rhys Hoskins bloops one to center field, which able to score Gene Segura to make it 9-0. And then going into some of the innings by Ranger Suarez, there was a couple of innings where he allowed the leadoff guys to get on, and then he was able to get out of those situations. So you get on with the second inning, Winker reaches with an RBI single, then he walks Torrens, but then he manages to get the next three guys out. Then has a solid bottom of the third inning after allowing a double and a walk. In that inning, he manages to get out of that situation. Bottom of the fifth, 1, 2, 3. Then you go to the bottom of the sixth, allows the two leadoff guys once again to get on. Rodriguez gets a single, hits Suarez with a pitch. Then he gets the next three guys out, 2 strikeouts and a pop out. And actually, there was a one funny situation where I forget what specific inning it was. It was one of the at-bats for the Mariners. It was a 1-strike count, and Ranger Suarez threw a dot for a strike, and the umpire just rang him up, thought it was strike 3 for some reason. So it was just a really funny situation in that point. But, I guess, is it still spring training for these umpires? I have no idea. The umpires have been brutal this year overall in baseball. But then you go to the bottom of the seventh inning. Morales comes up for the Phillies. So Morales, in his stint down in Double-A, he has been very solid, like dominant, honestly, in Double-A for the Phillies. So if I go to look at his stats right now in Double-A, because he was a starter that was converted into a reliever. So if I look at his stats down in Double-A, because he was dominant this year so far. So if I go to Baseball Reference, see what he's doing down here in Double-A for Reading. So right now he has pitched in 9 games and he is pitching to a .55 ERA. That is dominant by Morales. And looking at the strikeout numbers, I want to see the strikeout numbers that he has, if I can see it right here, because Baseball Reference is a little weird right here. Maybe I should have went to MLB.com. Maybe that would have done it a little better. If I go to MLB.com, looking at him stats right here, yep, he's 1-0 in 9 games this year, 28 strikeouts with a .55 ERA and a .73 WHIP. So overall, very solid and dominant by Francisco Morales. And in his couple of innings of work, because he came out into the 7th inning, strikes the first 2 guys out, so he gets his first 2 major league strikeouts, and then he comes in for the 8th inning as well, walks the first guy, then gets a double play, then strikes out Suarez to end that inning. So overall, in Morales's first, big league innings of work, goes 2 innings, very solid on 24 pitches and gets 3 strikeouts. Very, very solid right there. And then James Norwood comes out for the 9th inning, looking to, get a little bit of the demons out from the last game against the New York Mets, where he started the blow up right there. And he goes to 1, 2, 3, gets 2 strikeouts as well on 11 pitches. So it was a little bit of a solid there from Norwood as well. But overall, just very solid by this Phillies team today. Overall, very, very solid. And looking at the lineup right here for today, a lot of hits. Not in the leadoff position. Kyle Schwarber goes 0 for 5 with a strikeout. So he was really one of the only ones that didn't really contribute into the offense. There was another one, Bryce. He also struggled as well. He went over 4 with 2 strikeouts. But the rest of the lineup, Alec Boehm gets another couple of hits in this game, goes 2 for 5. He also barely missed a home run and went off the end of the bat, and it still went to the warning track. So he almost drove one out of the ballpark. Bryce Harper, really good day at the plate, goes 3 for 4. So he's been stepping up a little bit ever since that closed door meeting. He scored 2 runs in this game. He also got a walk. Nick Castellanos, fantastic, 3 for 4 with 3 runs scored and 2 RBIs. JT Realmuto, 2 for 5, 2 RBIs. Gene Segura, 2 for 4 with the solo bomb and also 2 RBIs in this game as well. 2 runs scored as well. Rhys Hoskins, really good day at the plate. Fantastic. He definitely needed this. Batting 7th in the lineup today. Goes 3 for 5, 2 RBIs, and a run scored. Abdul Herrera goes 2 for 5. And like I said earlier, Bryson Stott goes 0 for 4. In terms of runners in scoring position, the Phillies were 6 for 11. So very solid overall. And that is a good way to start this road trip for this Phillies team. And then looking at the rest of this series, you're going to have Aaron Nola on the bump tomorrow going up against the last year Cy Young winner, Robbie Ray. So that's going to be a little bit. Let's see if Aaron Nola can have another solid performance like he has in his past couple of starts. Let's see if he builds off of those. And going up against Robbie Ray, I want to see his numbers so far this season for the Mariners. So in 6 games for the Mariners this year, he has, if I can see it, overall. Right now, here we go. He is 2-3 so far this year for the Mariners with a 4.38 ERA and 31 strikeouts. So hasn't been dominant to start the season so far like he was last year. So maybe the Phillies can build off of that a little bit. And then for Wednesday's game against Seattle, that's going to be there's no word on who the starting pitcher is going to be so far because what the whole situation with Zach Eflin and Zach Wheeler both being on COVID IL. So we don't know how long those guys are going to be lasting on there. So we don't know who's pitching on Wednesday. And we don't know who's pitching on Thursday for the Phillies when they go to play the Los Angeles Dodgers. Because right now you don't have that pitching matchup going up against Clayton Kershaw. But then you're going to have Kyle Gibson, Ranger Suarez, and Aaron Nola on the backstretch of that Dodgers series as well. So right now, figure out the rest of these pitching matchups tomorrow. Try to go win a series with Aaron Nola on the bump. Get the Robbie Ray, keep this offense going, and let's see if we can just continue to build on from there. Just have a strong road trip. That's basically all you need right now to build your confidence. So, really good win by this ball club today, scoring 9 runs, just shut out the Mariners. Now they'll go build off that performance once again and have a good start for Aaron Nola tomorrow. So, what are your thoughts on this game, everyone? What are your thoughts if the Phillies can build off of this? So don't forget to leave all those comments and opinions down in the comment section below. I like to see those as always. Don't forget to drop a like on this video as well. Don't forget to check out the Painted Lines, which I'm a part of. The links are down in the description below. And also don't forget to check out the links to BrodesMedia and everything else that is down in the description below. Do not forget to check all that stuff out. Like I said at the beginning of the video, the most important thing you can do is hit that sub button and also use the code TTPSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. And I will see you.